Hi everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to set up your own virtual private network, or VPN. We're going to be using what's called Open VPN. Open VPN is a free and open source software that runs on Linux and Windows. Today we're going to be installing Open VPN on a Linux server. So, to do this, what I suggest is, if you just want to test out something, I use DigitalOcean for my test machines. You're able to set up a virtual private server in literally minutes, and you can rent your server by the hour, which is really nice, and it's super cheap. So if you haven't checked out DigitalOcean, I highly recommend checking them out. But anyways, I'm going to log into my account, and I'm going to create a new virtual private server. We're going to call my server VPN, and we'll put my server in Amsterdam, and we'll stick with the default Ubuntu, and let's create the server. So this will take like a minute, maybe a minute and a half. And for those of you who aren't familiar with Linux, Linux is a free and open source operating system. It's my personal operating system of choice. Right now I'm recording this on Windows, but that's only because I know 99% of the population uses Windows, and I figured that would reach the widest audience and would be the best for most people. But if you haven't checked out Linux, I highly recommend you to. And I'm hoping maybe this will be a gateway video into getting you into Linux. But anyways, DigitalOcean just emailed me the credentials to the new virtual private server that I just set up. You can see here's the IP address of my server. The username is root, and some random password they've generated. If you plan on leaving your server up for any amount of time, I recommend changing the username for root. Obviously, I'm going to destroy this server after I'm finished making this video, because I wouldn't want anyone logging into my server. But I'm going to copy the password, and I'll go back over to my DigitalOcean control panel, and let's go ahead and log into the server. So I'm going to click on console access, and you can do this directly through the DigitalOcean website, or you can also use a program called PuTTY, which will allow you to SSH in from Windows to a Linux box. And PuTTY is typically the way I would advise people to go, but for this demo we'll use the built-in functionality of DigitalOcean. So we log in with root, and what was that password? I'm going to have to copy that password. Let's see, because I don't think it will actually let me paste it into the window. So let's resize that. IXBYFZCAULIV. Alright, so now we're logged in. So we are now on our Linux server, and you can see here's the IP address, the gateway, and the netmask. But what you need to do next is you need to download the OpenVPN Access Server software. And the difference between just normal OpenVPN and this Access Server package that we're going to be downloading is that when you just install typical OpenVPN, if you just install OpenVPN from a Linux repository, it's not going to give you any nice GUI web front end. It's going to be all terminal. And by using this Access Server package, they also handle the SSL or HTTPS key generation for you, which saves you a ton of time. So I'm going to put this website link in the notes section on this video, but it's at openvpn.net, and then you just need to look for the VPN solution, and it's somewhere under here, but I'll link to it. So now we're going to click on the Access Server software packages, and we're using Ubuntu, and we are using 12.04. So, and I believe it's 64-bit edition. I can't remember exactly, but we'll see. So I'm going to copy the link address, and then we'll go back over to our server, and we're going to type in wget. And then let me see if this will let me paste it in. Nope, I don't have any paste functionality. Well, darn it. I guess I'm going to have to type this out by hand. Okay. Should have thought this through beforehand. But type in that URL. Alright, I hope I typed that in correctly, and it looks like I did. So it just downloaded that package from the website, and now we're going to go ahead and install that. So we're going to do dpkg-I, and we're going to tab complete for the package that we just installed. We're just downloaded, and now it's installing. And now you can see that it's telling us that it's successfully installed, and we can access the admin panel from the this URL or just the normal login from here. But the next thing we're going to do is we're going to change the password for our Open VPN account. So we're going to do password Open VPN, and we'll set it to whatever password you want. In this case, I'll just do test1234, test1234, which is obviously a terrible password and you would never ever want to actually do. Okay, so it was that easy. It's now installed. We are going to go to that URL address that it provided, which is just our IP address, and then its special port. And remember, it's HTTPS, not HTTP, because this is secure. 188.266.170.146.934/admin. Let me copy that. Open up a new page. Oh, and I messed something up. What did I mess up? One 188.226.170.146. Oh, 943, not 934. Oops. So yeah, gotta get the port number right. So it's 943. Alright, I'll copy that. Second time should work. Paste that in. And it's going to say that the SSL key is not trusted, but that's okay. So you can just go ahead and hit proceed anyway. And the username is Open VPN, and then the password is whatever you just set the password to. So in our case, it was test1234. Going to go ahead and agree to the user agreement. And from here, you can control everything about your Open VPN. You can manage the users under user management. You can manage how the authentication is done. This really gives you a whole wealth of choices. But we're not going to go into deep into this on this video. But I just wanted to briefly show you that. But anyways, now we're going to log in as just a normal user. So we're just going to remove the admin at the end of that URL and just do our IP address followed by the port 943. And this should pop up with something in just a second. Don't know why it's taking so long. Maybe I'll try Firefox. Okay, so it's working in Firefox. Did it ever load in Chrome? I don't know. It's not loading in Chrome. Don't know why. But anyways, once again, we'll do Open VPN and our password, test1234, and we'll click go. All right, so now that you're on this screen, now you need to set up your client. And on Windows, OpenVPN makes it really dead simple. All you have to do is download the appropriate software, the OpenVPN Connect client for Windows, and it will do all the work for you. It's a little more complicated if you're running Linux as client side. You have to edit a file that you download and then create like 4 separate files for key management. And that's another reason why I'm showing this to you on Windows, is because client side it's a lot easier on Windows. But now the package is downloaded, so you need to install it. I'm just going to go ahead and click connect to the IP address. You can see that's the 188.226.170.146. And then it's going to prompt me for the username and password. But before I put in the password, what I want to show you is I'm going to browse for what's my IP. And you can see what my IP address is right now. There's a lot of services that will actually show you where you're located to. Yeah, you can see that I live in Spokane, Washington. So that's my IP address without being connected to the VPN. But now I'm going to connect to the VPN. Hit yes. And then watch in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen as it connects on the little icon down there. And it's going to take like 5-6 seconds. And as soon as it connects, you can see that it has now said connected, and there's a green check mark over it letting you know that you're safe and secure. So now everything that I do online, my torrenting, my web browsing, all of it's going through the VPN. And if you remember, we set our VPN, I think it was we set up the virtual private server in Amsterdam. So now let me refresh the page. And sure enough, it looks like I am now from the Netherlands. So if anybody was to see my traffic, it all looks like it's coming from the Netherlands. And the traffic is being encrypted. So this is a great way to bypass filters. This is a great way to browse the internet securely. And it's just dead simple. So now you can just disconnect. You can either leave your VPN up and running, or you can destroy it and set it up on a different host if you want. But I just wanted to show you how simple this is. I mean, this took, like a total of 10 minutes, and that's with me explaining it to you. So you can see it's really simple, and anybody could do this.